What is up, YouTube? My name is Justin French, covering music for those who care, and I'm in a parking lot. I had a lot of stuff I had to go do today, so I'm kind of doing this review on the go. So let me not waste any time with the album that is being reviewed today. That album is Concrete and Gold by Foo Fighters. This is the band's, I believe, ninth studio album. And this is the first to feature keyboardist Rami Jaffrey. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I'm not pronouncing it, my bad. But yeah, let me get into some of the tracks. And one thing I have to say about this album is it's very psychedelic in places, and it's very proggy, like progressive rock. But it's still Foo Fighters with the hard rock sound. The first taste we got of this album was the single Run. And Run is probably one of the highlights of this album. To be honest, the singles are pretty much the highlights of this album. Because the rest of the album ranges from okay to kind of confused. The one track I have to single out probably as my least favorite is probably the title track. They said that Sean Stockman from Boyz II Men did choir vocals. He did like 40 takes of his voice. And it sounded only like he probably did 5, because I can barely even hear it. To be honest, the vocal production for this album is not very good. But musically, I still like the music. But the vocal production of this album is kind of murky and muddy in a lot of places. I talked about Justin Timberlake in a video about a couple weeks ago about his appearance on the new Foo Fighters album and what I was gonna think about it. He appeared on the track "Make It Right," which is kind of has a punk vibe to it. It's still hard rock, but it's got that punk vibe to it for some reason. But Timberlake comes in the middle of the song going la 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 la, something like that. But I mean, it was a pretty good addition. I thought his part kind of fit into the rest of the song. My favorite track is probably Sunday Rain, which is over 6 minutes long and features Paul McCartney doing drums, and the drummer of Foo Fighters, Taylor Hawkins, doing lead vocals to it. I think Hawkins is a very great singer. He has a solo career too. I forgot what his album was called because I haven't heard it in a while, but I know I listened to it, and his vocal delivery on the album was pretty good. So I definitely recommend it. If I remember the title, I'll put it in the description down below. But anyways, another highlights, I said the singles were highlights. Run, I really like the opening to that track, and then it goes from the soft loud dynamic that's pretty normal for Foo Fighters. So it was still a great song, and that song pretty much came out of nowhere. I remember being in theater arts class, and we weren't doing anything that day, so teacher let us do whatever, and I looked on YouTube, and all of a sudden I see this. I was like, huh? Because after the Saint Cecilia EP was released, Dave Grohl said that the band was going to take an indefinite hiatus. Well, not indefinite, but a hiatus for a bit. But apparently this track got him motivated to making music again. So, but yeah, I think he nailed the song. I really like the solo, well, I guess solo you can say, whatever part it is, in the middle 8 bridge. This Guy's a Neighborhood is a pretty interesting track. It's very psychedelic, because it's talking about sky. And this was inspired by Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's a famous scientist, and Dave Grohl's love for sky watching, cloud watching, whatever. But anyways, And then the line kind of reminded me of something off, maybe a outtake from In Your Honor, but it's still a great track to listen to. I like it. Another, they got Alison Mosshart from, what was that band? The Dead Weather on a couple of tracks. She plays on La Di Da and I believe Dirty Water, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not, you can just correct me in the description. But I don't know, I couldn't really hear much, to be honest. I gave this album a couple listens and still couldn't really hear much, but I might have to do another listen to this album so I can kind of hear, but anyways, I really liked La Di Da and Dirty Water. Those are pretty interesting tracks. Arrow's a pretty good track too. So overall, is this album better than their previous album, Sonic Highways? I'd say yes, but it's not really a masterpiece, honestly. So yeah, my rating for this album is probably gonna be a 6.5 out of 10. So thank you all for watching. Still in the parking lot. Hope to be making more soon. Hopefully not in a parking lot. Thank you all for watching my review, and I'll see y'all later.